Well, in this homily this morning, I'd like to leave you with 3 points at the end of the homily. So you can try to figure out what they might be. And maybe I'll have to try to figure them out too. Anyway, 1. Satan called a worldwide convention of demons. In his opening address, he said, "We can't keep Christians from going to church. We can't keep them from reading their Bibles and knowing the truth. We can't even keep them from forming an intimate relationship with their Savior. Once they gain that connection with Jesus, our power over them is broken. So let them go to their churches. Let them have their covered dish dinners. But steal their time so they don't have time to develop a relationship with Jesus. This is what I want you to do," said the devil. "Distract them from gaining hold of their Savior and maintaining that vital connection throughout their day." "How shall we do this?" his demons shouted. "Keep them busy in the non-essentials of life and invent innumerable schemes to occupy their minds." He answered, "Tempt them to spend, and borrow. Persuade them to go to work for long hours, to work 6 to 7 days each week so they can afford their lifestyles. Keep them from spending time with their children, family, and friends. As their families fragment, soon their homes will offer no escape from the pressures of work. Overstimulate their minds so that they cannot hear that still, small voice. Entice them to play the radio or CDs whenever they drive, to keep the TV, PCs, smartphones, iPads going constantly, at home, at work, on the road. This will jam their minds and break their union with Christ. Make sure young people get hooked on texting, on computer games, on Facebook, so they can't live without them. Even in their recreation, let families be excessive. Have them return from their recreation exhausted. Keep them too busy to go out into nature and reflect on God's creation. Send them to amusement parks, sporting events, plays, concerts, and movies instead. Keep them busy. Crowd their lives with so many good causes, they have no time to seek power from Jesus. Soon they will be working in their own strength, sacrificing their health and family for the good of the cause. It will work. It will work." It was quite a plan. The demons went eagerly to their assignments, causing Christians everywhere to get busier and more rushed, going here and there, having little time for their God or their families. I guess the question is, has the devil been successful in his schemes? You be the judge. Well, as we begin this Advent season, we enter into a church season, a spiritual season that tells us to slow down, to wake up to the Lord's coming. But the world and those little demons around us tell us to speed up, to get into that adrenaline rush that we call the Christmas season, to get busy. Well, so what are we going to do differently this Advent so we can slow down and become more awake to the spirit of Advent? And to do what St. Paul tells us in the second reading, to throw off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. And Isaiah tells us to walk in the light of the Lord. And the responsorial psalm says, may peace be within your walls. Peace be within you. Well, is Advent a time where we truly find peace and where we stay wide awake spiritually for the coming of the Lord? The opening prayer puts the spirit of Advent very simply. Grant your faithful the resolve to run to meet your Christ with righteous deeds at his coming. We simply have to slow down our bodies if we are to run to meet Christ with good deeds at his coming. So, what to do this Advent season? What can each one of us try to do this Advent season? Number one, simply slow down. Slow down. Some things in this season can get us all worked up and anxious and busy. You know, like shopping, too much shopping sometimes. Going to Christmas parties, sending out lots of Christmas cards, decorating too much, buying too much. Maybe we're trying to do too much at Christmas. Maybe it's time just to stop doing some things. They get us all worked up, and slow down. To question some of the things we do that make us just too anxious, too nervous, too irritable, sometimes too angry. And number two, pray more. Pretty simple, but sometimes we drop our prayers during the year. Advent's a good time to start them up again. Maybe set aside 10 or 15 minutes, first thing in the morning, just to pray, to keep quiet, or to read the mass readings for the day. You can find them on Google. Try to get some, maybe during the week, try to get in some daily masses if you can. Or just drop into church for a few minutes, for a short visit. Sometimes we rush past the church and there it is. Well, it's the Lord's house. Stop in and just sit there. Sit there in quiet for a while. And go to confession this Advent. It's a good time to get stuff off of our hearts and souls with a good confession. And number three, to give more. To give more to charity, that is. You know, maybe it's, if we can get a bunch of dollar bills, or if we can afford a bunch of $5 bills, and put them in the red bucket at the Salvation Army stands. That will cheer up the bell ringers a lot. So often we just walk right past because we've got to go into the store and shop. Well, maybe we should do something for the people that need help this Christmas, and just drop in money in each bucket as we pass by. Decide for yourself how much you want to give. But maybe if you can afford it, to set aside maybe even $100 for charity, for gift certificates that you can send to people that you know could use them for Christmas, and just send them anonymously in the mail. That's a good thing to do. To send to some poor family or some poor people somewhere, or to some elderly person. You know, we all need to learn to give to those who can't give anything back. That's why Jesus tells us, give to those who cannot give back to you. Maybe spend more time than money with some people, some elderly person, the lonely, member of your family or your neighbors. You know, time is a precious gift. It's good to spend time, especially this time of year. So, in conclusion, remember the opening prayer of the Mass. Grant your faithful the resolve to run forth to meet your Christ with righteous deeds. May peace be within your walls. May peace be within your homes. May peace be within you.